I have been waiting all flippin' season to do this expose. Girl, it's happening. Girl, we are here. We are doing this. This expose is Bastion. Bastion was created by Scott Lobdell and Pasquale Ferry. His first kind of appearance was X-Men number 52 in May 1996. But the first full appearance, they did the kind of like a teaser, like a cameo of him in X-Men 52. But his first full appearance was Uncanny X-Men number 333, June 1996. So, Sebastian, his alter ego is Sebastian Gilberti. He's an android, so we talked about how he is a Nimrod and Master Mold combined into one. He has a lot of powers. He is, like we said, a mystical fusion. He's immune to telepathic probes and mutant abilities. He can adapt. He has technoforming, ability to turn people into prime sentinels. I wonder if we've seen that recently. Command of other sentinels, energy manipulation, teleportation, chronokinesis, superhuman strength and durability, and light. He's very 90s. We really don't see him a whole lot after the 90s, but he is most known for enacting Operation Zero Tolerance, Kevin, which the initials are OZT.
I go where I wanna go. Jean.
Scott.
Jean?
Scott. I summon the Arctic winds.
No more mutants!
I summon the Arctic winds.
No more mutants!
I summon the Arctic winds.
No more mutants! There's always more gators in the bayou.
Don't get a boomer.
Welcome to this week's Solving for X. My name is Shawn. I'm the ultimate excavationist.
Oh, ultimate, and I'm something of an X-fantasy myself, Kevin.
So you're hearing me 1 year older because my birthday was Monday. Today is Wednesday. Kevin, I had so much fun in Colorado.
Colorado. I see it, dude.
Colorado.
It's
So
Eldorado.
I went to the Stanley Hotel, which of course is where Stephen King stayed, and it inspired him to write The Shining. But the movie wasn't filmed there, but the miniseries was. So that was exciting.
Yeah, run through those hedges.
Yes. Do your best, Shelley Duvall. Yes, mama. We had some spooky things happen. We went on a ghost tour. It was fun.
Yeah. Happy birthday.
Are you a big fan of The Shining, Kevin?
I've never actually seen it. I've seen about the first half hour of it. I know. It was a hookup, movie.
Oh, okay. Whatever gets you there, girl.
Yeah, we watched half hour, then things other happened, then we had ice cream, and then, yeah.
And then other things happen, and there's some other kind of cream. I wanted to talk because I had a few people message, and I had Alan ask me, so I wanted to set the record straight. So Storm, in this last episode, she didn't just get her powers back. Because if you remember, Storm went into Forge's machine, and in my headcanon, that fixed her, but she blocked herself from getting her powers back.
Mm-hmm. It was a mental, personal block. She could have had it back sooner. So Forge did fix her, and then it was just the rest was up to her.
Yeah, and I like that. That's kind of like how they handle Rogue's power in the comics for a while, that she is her own worst enemy. Like, she can touch people. She just has to control her power, but she had a mental block thinking she couldn't do it. So,
and they really made that obvious too by making the adversary Storm's voice, because it was something that she was inflicting on herself,
Yeah. I agree. I ran across a rumor today. I thought it was kind of exciting. I really hope it's true. It kind of makes sense, but I'm skeptical. So now that we have Storm back in her original 70s outfit, and we have Wolverine, Cyclops, Nightcrawler on the team, of course, with Beast and Jean, who don't really fit. But this is shaping up to look like the giant-sized X-Men team, which had Colossus on it. So people are thinking that we may get Colossus as a recurring X-Man since the team is getting low.
That would be nice and cute. Yeah.
I know. I love Colossus. I was thinking about this earlier today. The X-Men characters, they're all so like opposite. Like Beast is this big bestial character, but he's like smart and like kind. And like Wolverine is this short little like strong man. Like you wouldn't expect the short little man to be that vicious.
Mm-hmm.
So like in Colossus, same thing. Like he's such a sweetheart. So it's funny. Like I think that's why we endeared to them, because they're all kind of like not what you'd expect and different.
Yeah, their physical attributes do not associate to their personal characteristics. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we had some fun last week with our question previously on what would Xavier's drag name be in this Shi'ar outfit?
Yeah.
So I wrote in for Alan. He said Professor Xavier.
Get that Santa sleigh.
Yeah. I loved yours. You can say it.
Yeah, it was. I sent it to you. I submitted it. After I submitted it, I just laughed for like a good 3 minutes because I'm like, it tickles me so funny. It says Goldie walks.
Stop it.
I don't know why it made me laugh. Goldie walks, and it's fine.
There's one I like better than yours, but yours is like up there for me. I really like Goldilocks.
Yeah.
I also sent in Professor XXX. Casey Crypto sent Death Drop Bird. Our friend Tobias Burning and Leprechaun sent in Charles the XCX. Friend of the pod Ryan Yorio sent Xavier or Professor Sax if you're nasty. I got a little tickle out of this one. I sent in RuPaul Charles Xavier. But my favorite goes to Casey Crypto, our friend in Palm Springs, friend of the pod. He likes to rock his Dazzler shirt. We see you, Casey Crypto. But he sent in she already done had hers.
It's just so funny.
So good. She already
been. I know.
So you win, Casey Crypto.
I know. Like, oh, there's she already done had hers is coming out on that runway. Ooh.
Right, it's the longest name ever. Okay, calm down. Okay. All right, so today we're talking about Bright Eyes. This aired today, April 24th, 2024. A story by Charlie Feldman and J.B. Ballard. Directed by Emmett Yonemura. And, last week I started putting the opening credits for us to talk about. There's nothing new in this one.
No. Just reiterating stuff we've already seen, which could be important anyway.
Yes. Yes. Dance.
Yes! She already been done hers!
Stop it. She already done hers.
Oh, God.
Oh, God. Oh. Okay. Shall we get into this episode?
Let's do it.
In a graveyard, the X-Team gather around to mourn the loss of Remy LeBeau, Gambit. Nightcrawler oversees the funeral as the priest. Nightcrawler reflects on Gambit's modesty. Jubilee is upset that Rogue isn't there to mourn the man who loved her. Wolverine tells her everyone grieves on their own. Nightcrawler tells the team about the horror of being at Genosha during the attack. He understands why Rogue is afraid. So we have our first cameo here, girl. And I know you love this cameo because you get to reference Bobby.
Bobby and my rang and
Come out, wherever you are.
Don't worry about us, Dingo. We'll make sure we can. Cameo.
My ring, Belladonna. We also get Pierre. And we get this really random ass deep cut. I couldn't even remember who she was, but her name is Singer with like the black and white hair.
I was trying to figure out who that was.
She's like, she's part of the Thieves Guild or the Thieves Guild. And if it tells you anything, if you look her up on Marvel.com, all her bio says is Singer is part of the Thieves Guild. So she's like that small of a character.
Wow.
But yeah, they added her.
Okay. Because like that Rogue, she looks different.
Yeah. So this was a cool callback to Externally Yours.
Yeah, you get those little moments back. I did love Nightcrawler's eulogy. I thought it was really nice.
Yes.
Really beautiful. You know, I love how he talked about how his sins made him into a hero, and then all gamblers have a tell, and modesty was his. That's really nice. Very poetic. Very nice. Beautiful.
Yeah, it's nice that we have Nightcrawler on the show to lighten up some of these moments, like when he kind of talks to Gambit about marrying Rogue and Remember It. In this part, he brings beauty to like a very sad moment. So it's really nice that we have Nightcrawler for this.
Mm-hmm. I noticed here too. Well, Jubilee was all mad. She's like, "Where is she? Rogue isn't even here. She's such a bitch." Like, anyway. But did you notice her earrings said Jubilee on them?
Yeah,
and that's
Alan pointed that out too.
That's because she's got tired of being called Julie all these years.
Shut up. You know what's funny is she's always wearing these earrings. It's just funny that you and Alan noticed it more when she's not in her regular outfit. She's in her funeral clothes, and that's when you guys both noticed
it has her name on there. How funny.
Yeah. Probably because they showed her closer up too than they normally do.
I've seen the design before, but never like what it was that it had her name on there. That's crazy to me. It's like, I write my name on all my stuff. Duh.
Yeah, I'm not Julie. Stop calling me that.
Oh, and this is, I want to say this too, because this is how you know Magneto is alive, because no one is even mourning him or caring about his death.
Yeah, well, maybe they're doing it separately. They just showed us Gambit. That's it.
Well, no one even seems to mention Magneto or nothing. I was like, okay, whatever.
I know. Oh, yeah.
Meanwhile, in the desert, Rogue flies toward a facility. She barges in and starts taking down their men and machines. Hiya! Take that, tank! After easily dispatching the armed forces, Rogue busts into the control room. Well, I love this. He's like, whatever. She can't get in here. We hold the Hulk here. Whatever. And there's like, psh, it's like, it's so much easier to break into a prison than to break out of a prison. And we see Thaddeus Ross. Ooh, that guy. Yeah, I know him. And his men are surprised to see Rogue was strong enough to bust in. Rogue threatens Ross into telling her where Gyrick is.
Ooh. I love this dead expression look of just grim determination that Rogue has on her face when she's flying towards the base. Like, she is a woman on a mission. Do not fuck with this bitch in this moment.
Badassery. And here is another one. Yep. All these moves were from Marvel vs. Capcom 2 that Rogue had.
Wow.
All these same kind of these rolls, this kick, you know, it was very much inspired by a video game again.
Yeah, especially that kick, guys. Like, I've seen this kick before, and you're right. It is very video game fighting gamey.
So they know.
That's funny. Knew. Would you like a little Easter egg? A little cameo kind of Easter egg?
Okay.
So Bo DeMaio has confirmed that this is the same Thaddeus Ross who was in the Incredible Hulk cartoon from the 90s. So in his mind, all the Marvel cartoons of the 90s are interconnected. But it doesn't stop there, because this is exciting. Thaddeus Ross is voiced by Michael Patrick McGill, who also voices Ross in What If? So we're starting to get that interconnectivity.
Oh my gosh. And there's like stuff done about all these signs. They have like Stark Industries and all these other like names of companies that exist in the MCU and in all these other places. So it's trying to be linked together.
Yeah, I forget who said this, but there was a theory that eventually they would just cast live action people to play the mutants from our cartoon. So that way we already have a bunch of built-in history, and then they can just move forward from there without having to rehash like the Phoenix Saga and stuff. You would just watch the cartoon to see it.
So it's almost like our cartoon becomes real life.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It would be interesting, because then they could seed in all this history and then just move forward. So
I gotta
that'd
say,
be interesting.
This might just be me reading into it, but at WonderCon, someone asked a question. This was on the Saturday panel. Someone asked a question about if Spider-Man would ever like do a crossover, and everyone just kind of got quiet. Like we can't say anything, which makes me wonder, like, is there going to be a Spider-Man influence somewhere in here? They were not allowed. They said go watch that episode, but I'm like, NDAs. I'm reading the room here.
I have something for you. I have a big Spider-Man crossover for you in this episode, so I think we're moving closer.
Yeah.
But people have pointed out how Peter Parker was spelled wrong on the newspaper in episode 1, and I think the Daily Bugle is different, so they're wondering if maybe there's not rights to put Spider-Man in, and that's why they purposely misspelled it, but I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see.
I don't know.
But yeah, just seeing the reactions at WonderCon, how they just kind of had to like take a moment to like compose their thoughts, made me wonder.
Yeah, I wonder. That tells me one of two things: either there's a big surprise Spider-Man coming and they can't talk about it, or Marvel and Sony are fighting over whether Spider-Man can be in X-Men or not, and they don't want to talk about it.
Right.
Yeah. So hopefully it's the first one.
Mm-hmm.
All right, back at the manor, Cyclops is speaking to President Kelly. The president tells Scott that mutants aren't a good look right now for his re-election. Fuck you. Mm-hmm. He is pulling all public support of mutants. Kelly is also pulling all support of finding mutant survivors on Genosha. Kelly tells Scott to be patient. Scott doesn't take the advice well. Jean comes in to tell Scott the team is ready. Madeline gets brought up. Scott and Jean agree to put their issues aside while they work to find any sign of Madeline being alive on Genosha. I feel like you could write a whole fucking thesis on Jean's hair. Because the fact that now
she wears it down.
I feel like she's wearing her hair down when she's trying to get back with Scott. So she's making herself look more like Madeline to get him to a place of comfort, I feel, for them to be together again.
And maybe there's another reason. Maybe part of Madeline's essence went back into Jean because this whole death thing, and they've merged in the comic books, So maybe I don't know. There's something going on for sure. There's a meaning behind this. Know that.
I really like that. I didn't even think about that. See, this is why we balance each other, Kevin. But yeah, that would make sense if Jean pulled Madeline into her, which actually just happened in the comics with somebody else. But yeah, maybe she's showing off her Madeline side a little bit more.
She's just talking about, she's like, oh, I felt like a sister. Like, really? Like, I know you had your bonding moment when she left, but you just caught her having an affair with him and you got pissed. So now you're like, oh, like she's my sister.
Yeah.
I don't know. Something is happening.
Something's up. You're right.
The Blackbird lands at Genosha. The X-Team go to assist the mutants already there to clean and search Genosha. Scott decides to search the Citadel with Jean. Beast goes to the makeshift infirmary, where he meets up with Amelia Vaught. Oh, let's turn into Mist together, Amelia. Let's go. She reflects on how terrible it has been on the island. Trish Tilby approaches Beast. She shoos away the camera and offers to just be there for Beast, and they have a little touch moment.
Oh, that's so cute. So we get two different cameos here. The first one is when we get to the island, we see Blob, Multiple Man, and Angel Salvador from X-Men First Class. Yep. So they're helping. And then Amelia's flashback, we get Amphibious, Lupo, and Mimic. Do you remember Amphibious and Lupo?
Yeah. I don't remember why, but they were in something.
So it says a lot to me that they're helping because they were actually in the Savage Land working for Mr. Sinister.
I know I've seen them before.
So the fact that this is such a horrendous thing that's happened, that like people are there from the Savage Land and helping. These are people who worked for Mr. Sinister, but they're putting that aside to help.
Yeah, in that same vein, you actually missed one of the cameos here too. There was
who is it?
Brainchild in there as well.
Oh, that's funny. I think I did see Brainchild. I don't know why I didn't write him down.
He was in there and he was from the Savage Land crew, right? So
yeah, he was.
I remember.
And Mimic, I forget. I don't think we saw Mimic, I think, in the alternate future in Fuchsia in One Man's Worth, but I think that's all we've seen him. Okay. This was actually like classic Mimic, which was kind of cool. Nice. Rogue finds a cabin in the woods. Oh, she lands and is immediately greeted by a familiar Shield winky face. Captain America approaches Rogue and tells her Genosha was a tragedy, but Rogue's behavior isn't the answer. Cap tells Rogue he is also looking for answers from the tragedy of Genosha. He takes Rogue down to a secret basement. Rogue is still holding Cap's shield. Cap shows Rogue machinery that says, O-Z-C. What could that mean? Cap tells Rogue that Gyrick was recently moved to Mexico City. He plans on taking the Avengers there to find Gyrick. Cap tells Rogue he can't be seen assisting mutants. Rogue throws Cap's shield and bounces.
Yeah, the way she was holding his shield like so comfortable, like this is mine now, bitch. Like I'm like, all right, because she was holding like she's had practice or she's done it before. Which we do know that Rogue has served on the Avengers before, so maybe there was something in her past that we don't know about.
Yeah, I'm glad you bring that up because this really gives me like Uncanny Avengers feels because Cap did start a mutant unity squad where it was a mixture of like Avengers and mutants and Rogue was on it. So I feel like this is a really nice little nod to that. And it sets up like maybe we'll see the Unity Squad eventually in X-Men 97. And that would make sense as to why he would ask Rogue to join because they have this prior relationship.
Yeah.
Maybe she fucked him too. You know, maybe she didn't stop at Nita. Cap is voiced by Josh Keaton, who also voices Cap in What If? Oh.
So having all these what if, we have the Watcher, we have the Ross, we have him. So is X-Men 97 a giant what if episode? I don't know.
Yeah, right? I mean, I know it's made by the same people who animate What If, and so it makes sense, but it also does open the door to possibilities and a few questions. Which I think it's funny too, because I was trying to find Lupo's name. I could not find Lupo's name today, the white wolf with the blue helmet. And so I came across like different cameos, and the Watcher, I forgot, was in the original X-Men. So it's funny that the Watcher being X-Men 92, we're like, whatever. But the Watcher being X-Men 97 with everything that's been built up since, it's like, what?
Yeah. Back on Genosha, Jubilee, I haven't done that in a while, Jubilee and Berto continue to assist in the cleanup. Jubilee and Berto start on a discussion about Berto's parents not knowing he's a mutant. Jubilee tells Berto it would be better for them to find out who he is from him and not from the news. Berto agrees to tell his parents if Jubilee comes with him. She agrees. This was a really good conversation.
Yeah.
Because he's still trying to like It's like, oh no, it's fine. I don't want people to know. And then she's like, what did she say? She's like, I'd rather my parents know who I am, and not like and not from someone else, like they're gonna be burying a stranger, which is such a good point,
It really is.
because it's a
And
very real
this,
possibility that you can be killed in these kind of things. It's like, what if you were here? Oh,
yeah.
scary.
And I purposely wanted to watch this with Alan because, okay, good. He's not home. I could say it. He's not out with his family. And it's like,
wow.
well, I've been with him for 4 years. So this was very like a real conversation we just recently had. Like, I kind of told him, like, your parents already know. Like, they've met me. They've met your roommate who lives with you. Like, yeah. So I was really excited to sit down and watch this with him because I was like, maybe this will help push him. Like, just tell them already.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's how real this writing is for queer people. Like, we've been through all this, or going through it.
Yeah.
On a lighter note, we have another cameo. We have Barbarous and Strong Guy. Not Barbus.
I know. I was
That's a little gift to everybody who listens to Words of the Witches. You're welcome. So Barbarous is the one with the 4 arms that has a little like thing around the little fur thing, or like Conan around his crotch. And then of course Strong Guy we got to see in Cold Comfort with X Factor. Oh, and Barbarous is another Savage Land mutate.
See?
All the Savage Land are here. Yep.
Someone must have just watched that episode before they did this one.
Yeah. All right. I don't know her name because I don't think she's in the comics. I heard another podcast where they also didn't know who she was, but the parrot girl. She turns into a parrot. So if anybody knows her, let me know. But I think she's for the show. Lights a candle for Callisto and Leech. This like broke me a little bit seeing Leech again. Like, that's just so sad with Leech. As Trish Tilby continues her walk with Beast, Trish Tilby and Beast discuss their ideologies of what mutants should do now. Their differences suddenly become very apparent as Beast calls out Trish Tilby on her fake sympathy. Beast excuses himself and leaves. I was kind of taken aback by this. I didn't think Trish was that out of line.
See, I have thoughts about this. This is
okay. Tell me.
So he says something about tolerance to her. He says something like, "Thank you." I don't know what exactly what he says, but he's like, "Thank you for your tolerance" in a very snide kind of way. And we talk a lot about intolerance on this show. The people that actively hate, that are active bigots. But Beast's problem with Trish here is that she seems to just tolerate mutants. You can be nice. You can sympathize with minority groups. You may simply say, let them be and just, live their life. But merely tolerating others and tolerating outsiders is not enough when there are those actively eradicating and actively, really hurting, causing danger. So when there is very real violence and very real danger, you cannot sit comfortably and still call yourself an ally. Times like these are when it is required to take a stand. And that is a statement I didn't always have, but I know now why it's important and why people get angry. So that's the issue.
That makes sense to me. I like that. Because, it's like if I put it to like thinking about the BLM movement, I get that. There's a difference between sitting back and just watching and actually like trying to do something to help our Black brothers and sisters.
Exactly. At least make a point. Make your point known. Tell people why you're angry, why this affects you. Even if you think it doesn't, at least show solidarity in people that you claim to support and claim to love. So, yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Carl.
You're welcome.
And one thing that happened this weekend along these lines that was really amazing to me, and I've talked about her before, my Aunt Amanda, she's 4 years older than me. She's the one that I stayed with in Colorado, and she's Republican. I'm Democrat, but we had a whole conversation. So this is my point as like the more we talk about our differences and talk about our beliefs, the more we learn from each other, because we both kind of uncovered we don't feel Democrat or Republican. We both feel like we're a mix of both. And she had some really good points about, yeah, she liked the economy better than when it was with Trump than she did with someone like Biden or Obama, which, I mean, that's an opinion. That's fine. Everybody has one. And like one of the things that she said I helped her with is last time I saw her, she said, "Oh, that's gay." And I kind of told her, like, that's not appropriate, but also who says that anymore? Like nobody said that since like 2010. So this time when I saw her again, she thanked me. She said, "Thank you for correcting me." She's like, "Could you imagine like if I went out in public and said that and really offended someone?"
Yeah.
Because she knows I'm not offended by her saying that because I know her heart. I know she doesn't mean it in a derogatory way, but she like that said a lot to me that she took what I said to heart and she like bettered herself from it. So I love that.
Because there's a whole generation, like people in our time who would live through that. They just got used to saying that turn of phrase because it was everywhere for some reason. But yeah, it's very dated now, and it's not really appropriate, and it never was appropriate. But yeah, I think people are learning.
Yeah, so just keep on. I don't even know why I started talking. Oh, because of Trish Tolby. But yeah, we need to make sure we're there for each other. We need to make sure that we're speaking our truths and speaking our beliefs. Yeah, put yourself out there. That's why I do it on this podcast. I feel like we all go through similar things, but a lot of it we don't talk about. So the more we bring it up, the more we can start the conversation. Mm-hmm. All right, enough about that. Let's move on, Carl. Let's move on.
See, Solving for X is so great because we get to be all crazy and goofy, but we also give you the heart to heart, which I love.
Yes.
All right. Meanwhile, in Mexico City, Rogue flies in to find Gyric's prison isn't so prisony. He's got bugs. He's got butterflies and beetles.
Yeah. What the fuck?
Like, okay.
I'm not in prison and he's living better than me.
Yeah. He's like, am I going to go to your museum? Okay. He's being kept in a gorgeous mansion with all of his hobbies and accommodations being met. Rogue busts into the mansion and threatens Gyric for informaciones. That's Mexican, but not really. When he refuses to give answer, Rogue absorbs what he needs from him. Rogue sees a vision of Nimrod, then everything goes dark. And I just gotta say, I took great pleasure in hearing Gyric scream. I'm like, oh yes, we deserve that.
Yeah. He's so terrible. I feel like there's some things redeemable with Trask, but Gyric is just always an asshole.
Yeah. And like I brought this up in the episode with Guy. I'm like, he knew this was coming. That's why he was taunting them in that interrogation room. He knew this was the plan all along. And so
and yeah, it says something that he's reveling in it. Like all those mutants got killed good, whereas we see Trask later is like, what the fuck did I do?
Right. So you can see how people are different. There are people that just are so Hunger Games in it. Like let's Gyric is like those 13-year-old kids in Hunger Games. They're like, oh yes, I'm excited to win and kill these people. I'm like, how dare you? And so that's why I couldn't watch that movie because I was so offended by those children. I'm like, this is what they're raised to think. Oh no. but yeah, Trask is much better.
Yeah. I have to point out, I'm really happy we're not doing video today because number one, my hair is all like sticking up in one side. I have a runny nose and I'm wearing this ghetto ass Colorado shirt my grandma gave me. I look like a Republican right now. It's like an American flag that says Colorado. So I am not pretty right now. So thank you for putting up and looking at me, Kevin.
Oh, no, I don't mind. I enjoy it.
You like my ugly? Oh, thank you.
Rocky Mountain High, Colorado.
All right. Back on Genosha. Scott and Jean continue their search. Jean gets a psychic alert from deep within the wreckage. Scott gets his hopes up that it may be Madeline. Everyone goes running to help the telepathic survivor. Scott is disappointed. Oh, it's only Emma. Her secondary diamond form mutation activated and saved her. Just then, Morph calls everyone to the Blackbird. They are receiving a message from Trask. So, for X-Men fans, we all saw this coming because Emma, this is exactly what happened to her in the comic at Genosha. Yep. So it's fitting. And this brings us closer to her joining the team permanently.
Mm-hmm. And I love that this is like, we talked about how it was when we did the movies, like how this was a secondary mutation and she didn't have this in the beginning. So it's cool that we got to like witness her first diamonding up, you know?
Yeah, I love this. And yeah, because Emma, like, this is when I started. My friend used to make fun of me because I didn't realize how much I loved Emma. And he was like, of course you love Emma. You're always like, Emma, 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 Emma. And I was like, I guess I do really like Emma. So this was around the time I was realizing my love of Emma, because this is when we see her in full, like, kind of bitch mode. Like, this is when she becomes one of the key players, and we get a lot more from her when she gets her diamond form.
Yeah. And I gotta say, I do appreciate, because Cyclops literally, like, cried tears when it was not Maddie, which I got choked up at that moment. I don't know why. It was something so stupid, but I think because it's nice to see emotion from him. It is so rare for him to actually show tears and show sorrow and show like this kind of, you know, trauma in himself. He keeps it all bottled up. He gets angry a lot. He yells a lot, but not like this. So it was really just refreshing again to see him just cry.
Yeah, and I'm really liking this relationship with Jean and Scott right now, because even though they're going through something, even though Scott's in love with another woman, even if it is a clone of Jean, the way that Jean is, like, she got her anger out, that's fair. She confronted him. He was cheating on her. He's lying to her. But the fact that she's standing with him now because she knows it's bigger than just her, and the fact that she's supporting him and loving him, even when he's trying to find the other woman he's in love with, I think that, to me, is a sign of true love when you support someone you're with, even if it may mean that they love somebody else. Like, she's still there for him.
Yeah, it's really very mature of her.
Yeah.
Okay. Trask tells the X-Men that he had no idea his work would be used to kill at such a large scale. He doesn't want to fight mutants anymore. Trask reveals that Mr. Sinister was the one behind the attack. Oh, we saw that earlier, but they don't know. Sinister promised to give Trask's life back if he complied. Trask asks the X-Men to come meet him in the UN Ambassador building in Madripoor. The lobby vending machine is never out of diet soda. Ooh, what? Morph expresses their distrust of Trask and working with him. Cyclops decides to hear Trask out. He starts up the jet.
So I thought this might make for an interesting little talk, but we see Trask, and we kind of have a similar character to Forge, because Trask actively created these Sentinels, but now he's saying, like, he's sorry he did because he's sorry for what happened to Genosha. So does this make him sympathetic, or is it still kind of like different from what we've seen with Forge?
You know, I mean, see, I always about like feeling people's hearts out, and like, yes, he sucks. Yes, he did lots of horrible things, and yeah, I think he did believe a lot of horrible things, because Trask wasn't always the nicest guy. But even in the comics, he did have a change of heart too, I believe, right? So
He did.
So yeah, there's always room for people to learn and to change their mind and grow as people. And so I don't want to make someone's mistakes define who they are always, because people are always growing. And if they can come around, there's hope for them. There's hope for other people. So, yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's different because Forge didn't knowingly create tech to be used against mutants. Like, he did it for a different purpose.
Sure.
Trask did it to hurt mutants directly. But yeah, the fact that he's seeing what his tech did and the way that he's remorseful because so much death happened because of his tech. And I love that. I guess it hasn't happened yet, but later we get Morph comparing Trask to Oppenheimer, which I think is a really like nice comparison. Like that says a lot. But you're right. In the comics, it's similar but different. Trask was creating the Sentinels. The Sentinels got out of hand, and he saw like how much the X-Men were fighting to protect him and other humans. So he sacrificed his life in order to stop Master Mold because he realized he made a mistake.
Yeah. All right.
Back home, Jubes and Berto go to his parents' penthouse. Berto struggles with telling his mom the truth, but Jubilee comforts him. Berto spills his secret to his mom. She downs a bottle of wine and tells Berto she's happy he finally told her. I like how she drank the whole thing for her. She tells her son that they have already known and were just waiting for him to tell them. Next, Mrs. DaCosta tells Berto they will need to keep it secret. They'll also need to sever his ties to the X-Men. So this really hit home because it's like, actually, this ties into what you were saying. There's this is tolerance that we're looking at.
Right.
Like she accepts that he's a mutant, but she's only tolerating it. Like you can't be yourself. You can be a mutant as long as you hide it. And this is something I go through with my mom with being queer.
Yeah. So, and like it's shitty. It's a shitty situation. It's like, sure, okay, it's like a temporary way to like get around things and be amicable, I guess, but it's still not really addressing things. And I feel like Sunspot, I mean, like, it's stupid because he's such a public figure. He's in the public eye. People already know he's hanging out with the X-Men. So,
yeah,
in my mind, people already know he's a mutant. They already kind of gathered that early. So, it's not like a big secret like she thinks it is. And like, it bothered me too, because if someone who's this public, this notable figure actually spoke out and said something, it could inspire others. They could be a really great example, a real great role model for people, and you're just squandering that. So,
yeah,
it bothers me.
Yeah, and what I really took away from this is I feel like, you know, as someone who's had to come out, like we all stress so much about coming out that I think a lot of us don't think about, like, oh, wait, they accepted me, but we don't think about what comes next. And that's how are they going to accept you?
Yeah.
You know, are they going to put a bunch on you like, oh, you can be gay, just don't talk to me about it. Oh, just don't wear nail polish. Oh, just don't do this, don't do that. Yeah. So yeah, interesting. And you're right. Hopefully Berto does something with this newfound power, because I'm being patient. He's just going through it, but let's see what he does with it.
Right. All right. Okay. Rogue wakes up to Nightcrawler talking to her. Rogue is next to a graveyard in Mexico City. I absolutely love this because I'm a big Dia de los Muertos fanboy. Like, I love the imagery and the iconography, and the fact that they're in Mexico City when this, like, so we know what time of year it is. Yeah, it's really beautiful to see that, and the fact that it has such a significance for what's happening in these characters right now is good. But yeah, so she reflects on Remy. Nightcrawler tells her it is not her fault Remy and Nito died. Yeah, he's like, you have two meds. Don't forget you had two meds that died. He tells her that she helped them to live. Rogue turns around to see Jean, Cyclops, Beast, Morph, and Wolverine also there for her. And I love Wolverine just sits like, yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, it was really nice.
This scene choked me up because it's such a great scene. I love that Nightcrawler is calling Rogue his sister. I think that's a really great moment, a really great callback. But then just seeing like Jean come into the picture and hug her, and then Rogue looks back and all the X-Men are there. And you're right, like Wolverine's there in as much of a sentimental way that will get Wolverine there. You know, they're all there in their own way, and you can tell they're all there caring for her in their own way.
Yeah. But I do have to say, too, I love that Wolverine is not the focus of this show.
Yes.
Really nice that he's kind of is like a side player. He's a team player in this. It's not all about him, which is so refreshing too. Like, good.
Yeah, I love that it's focusing mostly on Rogue. I'm kind of hoping each season we kind of get it to focus on like somebody else, but I guess not just her because it
There are a
depends
lot
on
of
the
characters.
episode. We got a strong Storm story, strong Jean and Cyclops. So yeah, I'm hoping later we get more Morph. I want more Morph.
Right. Yeah, he's great.
Yeah.
They're great. They're great.
They're great. Back at the Mexico City Villa. I always say Villa because that's how you'd say it in Spanish.
Oh, you're
but
right.
People say Villa. Yeah. Villa. Gyrick is awakened by a mysterious visitor. Purple People Eater plays ominously on the radio. The mysterious figure, Bastion, who is purple, suffocates Gyrick and changes the radio. He discreetly leaves the fresh body in its deathbed. Crazy.
Yeah.
Good riddance, Gyrick. Fuck you.
Right, be gone.
Yep.
But we get the one-eyed, one-horn, flying purple people eater, and he didn't talk yet, did he? He didn't talk yet, but he's here.
Not yet.
So
yeah, we don't even really see his face yet.
No, it's like a blur. But I saw the purple. Mm-hmm. I saw the purple. I know what the purple means.
Yep. Which I'm wondering, because when we saw the supposed cameo of Bastion at Genosha, I forgot he's not purple, so it's either not him or he's disguising his skin color.
I don't remember. Oh, yeah, that little cameo. You're right.
Yeah.
And then the picture, you only saw his like outfit.
Yeah.
The Blackbird arrives in Madripoor. The team walk into Horizon Labs. That's a thing we should know. Wolverine smells the sleeping gas that Trask recently used on the building to clear it out. Morph touches the diet soda button on the vending machine. It opens a secret entrance because he said something like, the diet soda is never out or whatever. Like, oh, yeah, that's a clue. Okay. The team takes an elevator to the top floor where they find Sentinel tech beyond the tech of the 90s from the future past. Oh. I gotta say, I love the elevator when Morph is like,
yeah,
cracks me up. Rogue notices the guards wear OZT, same as the company housing Gyrick. They find Trask on the edge of the roof, remorseful for his actions. He tells them OZT rose from the ashes of his old company, like the Phoenix. He tells them Sinister overtook his tech and expanded on it.
Oh, so yeah, in case you forgot from the beginning, Operation Zero Tolerance, OZT. That's the connection here.
Yes.
So I guess the secret door is a little less worse because Morph does mention that the vending machine is usually out of service. So that makes sense as to like why nobody would use it. But I'm like, really? Does nobody drink diet? That's the secret button.
Yeah.
Would you like to know about Horizon Labs?
Tell everybody, yeah.
So Horizon Labs I feel like it became a big thing around like 2010 or maybe mid 2000s-ish, but it's a corporation owned by Max Modell, who is actually a friend of Peter Parker, and Peter Parker eventually works at Horizon Labs. So there is our Spider-Man connection.
Yep. Bump.
And there's a shot, I think, in the next couple of scenes where it shows that Horizon is smack dab in the middle of Roxxon and Hammer Industries. So they're just throwing all the evil type corporations in there.
And they had Stark Industries somewhere too on the building.
Yeah.
But all these things in this episode.
The only thing I don't like is Horizon is usually known to be like a good company. So out of all 3 of these companies. The fact that it's at Horizon, I'm like, do they know about it maybe? Or do they not know about it? Like, because they're good companies. Spider-Man builds all his tech there. They support Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Trask goes to jump from the roof. Rogue catches him one-handed. Rogue offers Trask redemption if he helps them get the people responsible for Genosha. Trask says he doesn't know anything else. In a controversial move, Rogue drops Trask. He falls to his death. Or do he? A Sentinel's voice can be heard. It creates an explosion. Cyclops is the first to whack up. To wake up. But whack up. Him, Jean, and Beast come across Trask's corpse has mutated into a human Sentinel. Nightcrawler helps save an unconscious Rogue. Scott and Jean work together to stop the building from landing on civilians. So this is something we've seen in the comics, like Omega Sentinels. It was later. It was in like the 2010, 11-ish. But there were people who didn't know they were Sentinels, so they would just activate, and everything in their life would just be ruined because they're a robot. Basically,
they're sleeper Sentinel agents.
Yeah,
they're like infected by this nanotech, and they can activate it whenever they want. It was like what Bastion was in charge of that stuff. He's the one, and he's like, "Oh, time for you to join my posse." And that's so crazy.
That's terrifying to not like somebody who could be your friend or family member may not even know. They may be supportive of you, and then one day it activates, and suddenly they just hate.
It's horrible. It's like you zombified them pretty much.
Yep.
Okay. And how do we feel about this move of Rogue? Like, just like letting him go.
Yeah, that was, and it's interesting how Morph says, "Is this who we are now?" And I think it's Wolverine is kind of like, he's like, the guy was a shithead. Of course he should die.
And really, Morph is the only one that admonishes it. Cyclops seems okay to let this happen. Like everyone else kind of stands by, is like, yeah, I'm not mad. So yeah, I have thoughts about that later, but it's interesting.
Okay.
The team desperately face off against Traskbot. Morphs into Quicksilver and fights Traskbot.
It's Morphin' time.
Oh, that was Morph again.
It's Morphin' time. I am an idiot.
I was like, what is Quicksilver doing here? And every time it gets me. Like random character suddenly appears. Okay. I was gonna say they didn't explain where Quicksilver went. But no. Okay, I get it. Morphs. Okay. But he is easily dispatched. Wolverine and Beast are also easily dispatched by Traskbot. What is mutant neutralized. Yeah. In an epic battle, Jean takes on the Sentinel. She is also eventually taken down. But the powers in here are so cool. They're falling. Jean is collecting all the rubble, and it's really neat.
It is.
Traskbot is about to take out Scott when an electromagnetic bomb is deployed. He's like, what? What is that? It's Cable to the rescue! Jean reads Cable's mind. Her and Scott both realize Cable is Nathan. Cable is like, hey, Dad, whatever. Cable tells them Trask is working for someone worse than Sinister. A mastermind all the way at the top.
Wow. So I do have a problem with this scene, but it does explain what we talked about before. Morph shouldn't be able to mimic other mutants' powers. And remember, we talked about when he turned into Psylocke, he used the Psyblade.
Yeah.
So I guess this confirms he used Quicksilver's powers. So I guess he can use powers now too.
That's new and a little bit of a cheating, but okay.
Yeah, like I wish we got an explanation. Like, I don't know, maybe hopefully the comic touches on it, but yeah, he was never able to do that in the original X-Men show. So something has changed with more. or they were never able to do that.
Maybe it's something that Sinister did to him. He did have all those
To them.
Sinister did to them. They did have
Yep.
all those experiments done on them. So you never know. Maybe there was some kind of gene thing in there, splicing.
Yeah. I mean, I like it. It makes Morph even more powerful. It makes them, in my eyes, like an Omega level mutant now. Because if you can just
Right.
mimic any, okay, so Mimic, the character, he can only mimic up to 5 mutants at a time if they're close to him.
Yeah.
So if Morph is able to just choose, like, I want to be this mutant and mimic their power, like,
At
that's
any time,
crazy.
any place, there's no limitation. He's stronger than Rogue,
Yeah.
because Rogue has to, touch them, and Morph would just be like, I'm gonna turn, whatever, I got it.
Yeah. I'm just going to be Jean and have Jean's power now. Whee!
Sure.
Omega.
Hey, we're the Phoenix. Here I come. Like,
Yep. So yeah, I'm going to be watching out for this, and hopefully we get an explanation somewhere.
Yeah.
All right, back at Bastion's lair, Sinister comes in to speak to his master. Sinister is unhappy with the progression of their plan. He is unhappy they deployed the trash spot early rather than deploy all the new Sentinels at once and overwhelm the X-Men. Bastion tells Sinister it was a necessary step for research's sake. Bastion tells Sinister he doesn't care what a washed-up 92 villain would do. Bastion shows Sinister footage from the Shi'ar proving Xavier is alive. He realizes the X-Men have been lying, but it's okay, because so has he. And did you pick up Sinister's line that you are also one of those villains? So
I
that
have that in my
confirms
notes.
for me.
I have that in my notes. Like, Nimrod,
That
you fought them.
confirms.
Yep.
So Nimrod or Mastermind are a mixture of both of those that we got in
We saw
X-Men
them all.
92.
We saw them all. So the seedlings are there.
Yep. And Bastion is voiced by Theo James. So we got
There
our
he
answer.
is. There he is.
Yep.
Yeah. He was a one-eyed, one-horned, flying purple people.
I like that they did that they have him, Bastion, put the song on, because it shows that he's a serious, dark, really powerful villain, but he has like a sense of humor, which is the scariest type of villain, I think.
I mean, yeah, there are. It's like there's something that's kind of mundane or joyous, and something that's normally very creepy and dangerous. That just adds a whole other creepy factor to it. Like, I watched what was a CSI episode once, where like this guy was like driving. He put people in the trunk of a car, drove them to some random place, and burned them alive in the car. But as he was driving, he played "Sunshine Day," everybody sing, and that's. It's terrible. It's scary because you know that he's going to do this horrible, creepy thing to you, and you're trying to make you feel good with this joyous song. It just adds scary and morbid, all these things in there. Insanity.
Yeah, I agree.
Bastion goes to a secret facility where he's keeping a living, collared Magneto. Oh, he's alive! He starts to give Nito a shave, which is another... unsettling thing. As Purple People Eater plays on the radio, he tells Nito to relax and just play his part.
So yeah, it feels like Bastion is getting Nito ready for part of the plan. I'm like, this is crazy. Like, what is it? What are you gonna have him do?
What if he is a sleeper agent? What if
He
he's
could be
infected?
Or I was thinking, what if there's cloning involved? What if either A, the Magneto who we saw die as a clone, or B, did Bastion teleport into Magneto's shield and take him out? Which, does that mean that Leech is alive? Or did he leave Leech and the other Morlocks to die by the Wild Sentinel?
There's a lot of questions because what are the parameters for which he is alive? Did he go into the Morlock tunnels like they said?
I know. I still don't think it's that because there's no like hole underneath him.
No,
but
right.
yeah, every single episode ends with I need to see next week's episode.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get into let's wrap up here, girl. All right. So tell me how you liked it and then give me your rating. Britishly bitchin' like Emma, pretty cool like Iceman, Australian Wolverine, you kind of love it but kind of hate it. Fat and sweaty like Jubilee, or unspeakable like X-Men Origins Wolverine. Or Deadpool.
Yeah. Wolverine and Deadpool.
Yeah, same either way.
Yeah. This show is consistent. That's the word. Is consistently good. Like, they know what they're doing. They're comic fans. They're great writers, great storytellers, and they know the X-Men. So, but yeah, this is another one that's traditionally bitchin'. It's so good. It's so well paced. We had a great heart to hearts. We had a great, action and lots of revelations. So, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, for me, I really enjoyed this episode. I know, like, yesterday they released the little teaser of Rogue, like, fighting in the desert, which I was like, holy shit, I need to see this episode now. Because I love Rogue. Rogue's like one of my top favorite X-Men.
Yeah.
So I love the story that we're getting. I love that we finally get Bastion. I actually put this as pretty cool, like Iceman. And it's not that there's anything, like, wrong with it. It just feels like it didn't give me as much as like Remember it did, where I was like, So yeah. I know it's building up towards the end, but yeah, pretty cool like Iceman. Who would you say is the MXP?
Yeah.
Oh no.
I put Nightcrawler. He is there because from his eulogy on, like, he is there for those of us left who are mourning, to help us acknowledge the things we've been through and help us find meaning in all of it going forward. He's gentle, and his constant compassion is very comforting. And I think, having somebody like him just who's there for you unconditionally, giving you those moments and trying to uplift you is just a really nice thing to have. And he's doing great things. So,
yeah. I agree with you, but I chose Rogue as mine. I feel like all the action in this is driven by her, and she's the one who takes it on herself to like uncover who is responsible and where they're hiding. So, it is kind of funny how out of all of her like trials, like Trask just so happens to call the X-Men, kind of negating everything Rogue was working towards. But, yeah, I feel like she's on her own mission. She's on her own story. Like, she is a woman scorned, and she's not taking any names. So I gave it to her for that.
Yeah, and she did do that previously on X-Men this episode. So I figure she was the one that people would think. But I did not give it to her because, I mean, this goes into my X Factor, but I did not give it to her because of how willing she was to kill. Okay. I do think it's justified, but I feel like it's a turn.
It is a turn. It's different. And Lenore Zan did warn, like, this is only the beginning for Rogue. Remember it? Seeing Magneto supposedly die and seeing Gambit die, that was only the beginning of Rogue's trials.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
All right. Who would you? Oh, you just gave yours. I just gave mine. All right. The X Factor. Tell us about your X Factor.
So our Rogue little discussion was my kind of segue into my X Factor. So the X Factor for this episode is something that Hunchback taught me too. The whole concept of what makes a monster and what makes a man. This episode brings up very real questions for the X-Men about who they want to be. Are they strong enough to uphold Xavier's dream and be the heroes for the future? Or are they too broken and will act instead with vengeance and anger? Are they even heroes anymore? So are they allowed to be both? I think this episode starts to force characters to figure out what path they will take. And it's not saying either one is right or wrong, because, there are times where you have to fight for yourself and fight for your beliefs. And I get why making amends for wrongs to you will feel good in moments, but also there's a certain strength in the high road. And I've talked about this on my Words of the Witches podcast too. It's just, they're in this weird position.
Yeah, mine's similar. Because we're really getting to see the X-Men without Xavier. But not only that, we're seeing the X-Men without Xavier going through the worst of situations. So, we're seeing Cyclops already like moving away from wanting to support humanity. We're seeing Beast not feeling support from humanity. Rogue straight up just dropped somebody off a cliff. And you're right. We're at a point where we're off a building. But we're at a point where we're like, but I get it. Like, she just lost 2 very important people to her. But it is interesting. Like, Magneto went through something so hard that pushed him to be the person that he is. And now the X-Men are going through something just as bad as Magneto did. It's interesting to see, like, he's the hero, and now they're all turning into the villains.
Yeah, right. And it's interesting because, I think Xavier's going to come back to Earth and he's going to try to put them back on his path. But I feel like there's going to be this tension between them now because they've seen things and they have different ideologies now. So it'll be interesting to see what Xavier will come back to when he meets X-Men again.
I was thinking that too. I'm wondering if he's going to come back in like episode 10 at like the 0 hour during zero tolerance to like save the X-Men, but then they'll have to like try to reconnect with him. Like, bitch, you were up screwing Lalandra while we were down here like watching our kind get killed. Like, WTF.
Yeah.
All right, Kevin, I thought we'd have some fun with this question. So previously on, what do you think Sinister gets out of helping Bastion? Is it free reign for his experiments? VIP tickets to an Aqua concert?
Ooh.
A shiny new cape? Or an autographed nude of KGZ87?
I know I propagate this with all my sexy pictures on Instagram, but I don't know. That's a good question. What did you, Sinister?
I think he would do it for a shiny new cape, because you should see in the comics, like, he is so much about his cape. Like, one of his clones wants his cape. He's like, never. But he loses a bet, basically, and his clone takes his cape. And he's, like, so nonplussed about it. He tries, like, other things, other capes, but none of them are the same as, like, his cape.
That's funny.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if anybody does want an autographed nude, let me know. I'll sell you one. I have prints.
Nice.
I just
See,
got
I'm always
cosplay.
looking out for you, girl.
Yeah. And the Aqua concert, I would be all about that. Yeah, that's what I want. I want the Aqua tickets.
I could imagine Mr. Sinister at an Aqua concert. Like, he would be so, like, in it. Dr. Jones.
Right? That would be the song he sings, too. It's about doctor.
Yeah. All right. Next, we have Tolerance is Extinction Part 1. So this is the beginning of the 3-part finale. What do we think is going to happen?
Well, I don't know if it's going to happen in this next one, but I know the whole Xavier thing we talked about and the X-Men, I know that's going to be something in one of these finale episodes. I know there's going to have to be a big showdown of forces, some time traveling. Cable's going to have to come back because he's going to have to tell us all about the stuff, what went down and what technology we can to fight this. So all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, we still need to learn how Magneto survived. We need to learn what's going on with Cable. We also, I actually sadly think we're going to see more X-Men die. Like, I almost thought, like, oh my God, did they just kill Morph? But they shot more people who survived. So I was happy about that. But I kind of feel like now at this point, we're going to see more people die. And I kind of wonder because Eric Lewald kind of told us season 1 goes directly into season 2. So I'm like, are they going to come up with a cloning like Krakoa era answer to bringing people back at the end of season 1 that goes into season 2?
Right.
Or is it time travel?
And something they said during our interview too, they said like, it was very subtle, but like they said about Gambit apparently dies, or they said Gambit is gone. They said something that was like a little not quite right. Like they make me like it's like somebody's coming back. Yeah, it's something because Eric says something and then Julia says something. He's like, oh, it's when they're talking about Gambit. So yeah. I'm reading the clues.
Yeah, and that's why I kind of don't think it's going to be time travel too, because like we just got Emma in diamond form, so we'd have to go back and like undo that. But that's a major plot point. So I think cloning may be the key.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, I know what it was. I remember now.
Okay.
Because they said episode 5 will be the one that everyone remembers that Gambit died, and then Julia said, or something like Gambit went away, or something like that. I'm like, what? It was in that.
Okay, I'll have to re-listen, but I think in that moment she was trying to get Eric not to say Gambit died because it was a spoiler still. We were in like the spoiler territory. Yeah, but I'm going to re-listen now. All right, well, until next week, where can the people find you?
Yeah, you can find me at my personal Instagram, KJEEZY87. I'm not allowed to post nudes, but I do have scantily clad underwear pictures on there. And some butts, if you want butts. I have some backside.
I love butts.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Butts. Okay. I want to touch the butt. No. Or you can follow my other podcast, Words of the Witches. We are in the final editing stages of that musicale, so soon I'll be able to stop talking about it because it'll be out, but it's still coming, and it's very exciting.
Yay! You can find me on TikTok, Sean Perrette, where you'll also see like some of our Solving for X videos. You can find me on Instagram under Sean Perrette, where you'll find my zany ghost hunting adventures or other adventures. And you can find us on solvingforx.xmen.tasks on Instagram, where you'll always be up to date with our latest polls, our latest episodes. And you can find us on YouTube under Solving for X Pod.
Yeah, it's Solving for X-Pod.
Okay. Where we also put up videos of some of our bigger name guests.
Yeah.
Woo. All right. Thank you for listening. We'll see you next week with Tolerance is Extinction Part 1.
Oh, no.
No.